Hello, everyone, and welcome to the ItJustWorksPodcast. I'm your host, Ryan, and today we are going to be talking about the Lord of the Rings, Return of the King Extended Edition. We are going to wrap up this trilogy. As I said before, I had some problems with my computer in the episode we originally recorded. Just didn't come out well in terms of the quality, which is a shame because the episode itself was hilarious. Seriously, it was one of the funniest things we've done, but, life happens. It does find a way. Hint, hint, Jurassic Park. We have a funny one for you guys today. We talk about the next gen a little bit, and then we talk about a new MMO coming out called Project Gorgon that Alex is playing. We kind of discuss it a little bit. So definitely stay tuned for that. As always, you can follow us on Instagram at ItJustWorksPodcast. You can also email the show and give feedback if you have any questions, or if you want to talk about or have us talk about a certain topic or watch a certain movie. You can email us at itjustworkspod@gmail.com. Once again, it's itjustworkspod@gmail.com. We are also sponsored by Forever Grips Gaming Accessories. Please go check them out. They have thumbstick covers and controller covers, mouse and keyboard accessories as well, and even clothing. They are an amazing, very, very good quality cover for your controllers if you're looking for a little bit more comfort. They are great people over there. So thank you again for Forever Grips Gaming Accessories for sponsoring the show. And that's enough talking from me. Let's go ahead and cue that intro. Welcome to the It Just Works podcast. I'm your host, Ryan. Alex is back on the show today. This is our second time trying to record the Return of the King. Sorry for the delay. My computer sucks, and I suck with him. So here we are. Alex, are you excited to redo this?
Yes.
I'm not, because I forgot what we said, and I wish everyone could hear the last episode we did, because it came out really well, and it was funny as shit. Alex, how's your Thanksgiving, dude? Happy Thanksgiving, by the way. I don't think we even said that to each other.
It was good. Happy Thanksgiving also. We just put up the Christmas tree today.
Nice. So did we. We just put up the Christmas tree. My girlfriend came over this morning. We put up the tree with my grandma. And, it's very cool to have the lights out and the tree up. Get all festive. Christmas is my favorite holiday of the year. And, it's just fun. So before we get into the Return of the King, I wanted to talk about the poll I put up today and kind of get your predictions. So right now, I have a poll on my Instagram. You guys will have seen it. It is which trilogy is better of the two? The original Star Wars trilogy or Lord of the Rings? Alex, do you think Lord of the Rings will actually will take the win? Because right now it's winning.
I think so.
Yeah?
It's a better trilogy.
It is overall a better trilogy, but I guess the reason why I'm kind of shocked so far with the results that I already have is just how popular Star Wars is as a whole. It's got its own spot in Disneyland, Disney World. It's, I would say, in terms of media, more popular, I guess. The Mandalorian. Oh, did you watch that?
Yeah, I did. I
Okay,
just watched it today.
we'll talk about that at the end of the Return of the King. So we're going to spoil all of Mandalorian. If you haven't watched it, just be sure to skip that part. But yeah, so far with this poll, I was kind of surprised. One of the other polls I did, which I was kind of surprised about, and I did talk about it on Thanksgiving episode, but I wanted to ask you about it, is do you like Thanksgiving food or something else for Thanksgiving?
Oh man, Thanksgiving food rocks.
I fucking hate it. I really do. I'm an abomination. I know. I just
Better cooks in the kitchen then.
no. Everyone who cooks for this family is really, really good at it. I am just a sack of shit, and I'm picky. So,
Why don't you make a different dish then?
I'd rather have
Get to Thanksgiving.
I'd rather have pizza or something. I don't need.
Well, why don't you make like one of your dishes? Be like Thanksgiving burritos.
I mean, with a turkey, you could easily do that with some nice fresh beans. It probably tastes really good too. So yeah, Thanksgiving was great. I'm glad you had a good Thanksgiving. I hope everyone else did. Let's tackle Return of the King. So we're back talking about Return of the King, my personal favorite of the three films. I'm a sucker for good conclusions, and I think Return of the King does that very well. Alex, what are your rewatching this movie? What kind of like took you back? Was there anything that you watched again and you really appreciated, or was it like, no, this movie's still great, and I'm happy to be watching it?
There's a few things, but the movie overall is still great, I'd
Yeah,
say.
no, it's still a good movie, the best of the three for sure. Uh, it's not Alex's, everybody, so that's why I'm saying that. No, it is definitely fun to watch it again. The extended editions are kind of tough to get through a little bit. I won't lie. You have to like really sit down and dedicate a lot of time to it, and you might be sitting there for a while. So yeah. Besides
Well,
that,
it's not that bad.
what? It's like 4
Yeah,
hours.
it's not that bad.
I don't know. I can't commit like I used to on these movies. And now I'm watching Rambo backwards, so that's fun. Rambo: The Last Stand is on Amazon Prime, and I'm already like an hour in, and it's an amazing movie. I can't wait to watch the first three. I heard to skip four, but I heard like the first three are like really really good. My friend described them to me, and I'm like, damn, dude, I've been missing out. I can't believe
You stop.
that.
I've been watching The Expendables, so
Oh, okay. Do you like those films?
yeah, they're good. There's like no story to it. It's just like
I think it's
action.
I think
So
it's like how many actors can we get on one screen and have them kill shit. And I think a
yeah,
lot of them die or something. Like Chris Hemsworth's brother dies in the first one or something.
second one.
Like he's like the young guy they bring in, and then like he's like the first one to die.
Yeah, and then
He gets executed,
Sylvester.
doesn't he?
Yeah, Sylvester Stallone's like, why is it all the young ones with something to do? I was the one to die first.
What? All right. Before we get too off track, let's finish the Return of the King. It's been a long journey. Getting these episodes out. What is your favorite thing about Return of the King?
Ooh.
I don't remember what I said last time. So.
Oh yeah. I remember. Sam carrying Frodo up the mountain.
And why is that
That
your
too.
favorite?
It's just, they've come so far and they're at the doorstep. So Sam carries Frodo up with the weight of the ring.
Mm-hmm.
Says, "Yeah, well, if I can't carry the ring, I'll carry you, Master Frodo."
Yeah. Okay.
Good.
I think my favorite scene. Actually, I just remembered it. Just came to me. Thank you, God. We're so glad we're talking about it. It's actually when Aragorn goes into the mountain to recruit the dead soldiers. There's just something about that whole entire scene, the whole sequence that I just really love because it's once again shows the respect that Aragorn basically deserves. Alex is holding his adorable ass cat. It's hard to focus. She's so beautiful.
She won't shut up.
I know I can hear her purring. I just think that's my favorite part in the film. It's a really good scene though. I mean, just them talking to him and him not being scared of them. Even like Gimli's terrified of going in there. Even Legolas is like questioning when they're in there. The cat is running around, dude. It is out of control. Even Legolas himself was pretty skeptical about going in there. So I think there's a lot to appreciate with Aragorn once again, just being the true hero and leader. As you guys have learned listening to the Fellowship of the Ring and the Two Towers, that's like my favorite kind of character in the fantasy world. So I think that's my favorite part for sure. Honestly, there's nothing I'd change about that scene either. I really do think it's like a flawless scene. I don't know how well it is compared to the book, but for me as a film, it's pretty good. Is there any scene you don't like in the film? Like something you're like, I really don't like that. Like it kind of maybe like ruined the vibe for you a little bit until it was over.
Well, it didn't ruin the movie, but like towards the end when Sam and Frodo get picked up by the Eagles, and then they're in Rivendell again,
Mm-hmm.
and like everybody's running in the room, and it's like the start of a gay porno, Sam,
Uh,
Daddy.
yeah,
They're all like jumping on the bed. Gandalf's the director smoking his pipe.
yeah. No, I don't like that scene either. They're just it's too happy, man. I
I mean,
think,
they did just save the world, so
but would you be that kind of happy if you just saved the world? I mean, he almost died in the process. He just had his finger bitten off by a fellow zombie-looking hobbit. It's just I don't know. I think it's a little too. I guess use the word flamboyant. I don't know. I don't know how to describe it, but the way he says Sam, Sam, I'm like, I don't know, dude. Just make it out and get it over with, okay? I didn't really care for that scene too much, but you're right. They just saved the world, so obviously they're going to be happy and dancing. I guess it's just kind of stupid, but whatever. Is there anything else you would change in the movie? Doesn't have
yeah.
doesn't have to be something you wouldn't like, just something that you would change because it's more preferable to you.
The Witch King basically bitch slapping Gandalf. That didn't happen in the book.
So you did read the book,
I read the part.
or at least read that scene. Yeah, no, when he uses his flame sword and basically does like a invisible hit on Gandalf and breaks the staff.
No, it's like a psychic scream,
Yeah,
starting
but
up the
but that's
fire in the sword.
but that's one of the things I was talking to you about when we tried recording this originally. I just feel like Gandalf isn't truly represented as powerful as he could be,
No,
and it sucks
like he's supposed to guide people and help people defeat
because
Sauron.
he's technically not supposed to intervene, right?
Correct. But the Witch King being able to do that—that's like no. Gandalf could pull him off that fell rider and slap his butt.
He could pull him off and clap his cheeks. He could do it
Yeah.
with one finger. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Fair enough. No, that's something I would change too. It's just once again, Gandalf is clearly more powerful than he's represented in the movie, but for obvious reasons, they probably can't show him that powerful, or just the simple fact that he can't truly intervene. Um, what's up?
He fought the Balrog.
I know, but that was not in Return of the King. Like Return of the King, I felt like he could have fucked up like half the thousands of people that were there on his own. I'm just saying. I know that's a little cheap, but for once, like a movie franchise, to maybe show the character as powerful as they are represented in their normal medium. That's all. I'm not saying he did that in the books, by the way. I'm just saying like he could do that. He could fuck them up. I mean, the light burns them all anyways. All he has to do is bring out the sun. They're all dead anyways. It's like Ariel's
Right.
bow from Skyrim. You just shoot an arrow into the sun and it burns everything. No, too much. Whatever. Excuse me. um. So once again, this trilogy is incredible. It's damn near a masterpiece, so it's really hard for us to talk about. Because personally, I don't have much wrong with the movie, and even then, the whole happy scene at the end when they're all going Sam, it's still me nitpicking. It's just an outstanding film. Aragorn finally becomes the king of Gondor, as he's rightfully meant to, and it's pretty badass. The fight scenes in the movie are insane. They're just incredible when Aragorn, Legolas, and Gimli show up with the ghosts and just start fucking up that entire army. It's like, oh my god, it's really cool to see. Um, yeah, I don't know, man. I don't know. It's tough. Is there throughout the trilogy like a singular character that you like the most?
Oh, Gandalf.
That's fair. He
And
is.
Gimli.
Yeah,
Gandalf and Gimli.
I like Gimli a lot too. Gimli's amazing, man. They,
I don't know. It's hard to pick between all of them because it's such a great cast.
yeah, it feels like everyone down to like um, the Rohan characters, since we do have a lot of time spent with them. Even Eowyn, King Theoden, and then what's the other dude? Carl Urban's character. He's like the lead horseman,
Oh,
Judge
I forget
Dredd.
his name.
The boys.
Yeah.
Well, Carl Urban's the actor. I forget the character's name, but even like the Rohan characters alone, I feel like could have had their own movie. They were really good characters. Um, that's one of the things that made Lord of the Rings stand out. I think so much back in the day, even till today, is the casting couldn't have been more perfect all around. With Andy Serkis as Gollum, you know, Dickhead, who's the fake King of Gondor. Like even if you hated the character, he still played him very well. And
Oh yeah,
Boromir and Faramir, or Faramir. Did I say that wrong?
Armir.
Faramir, not Boromir. Well, both of them,
Armir.
Sean Bean and then the dude from Harry Potter, Faramir. Um, just outstanding actors. Really did a good job. Christopher Lee, as Saruman. Very, very good job. R.I.P. homie. Yeah, I agree with you. It's tough to really choose a character, and you even got Orlando Bloom, Legolas, Lord Elrond, killing it. Probably have to go Aragorn and Elrond for me.
Yeah.
Elrond is just so well done. If you played Battle for Middle Earth, the games and the campaigns, and they have him in there, it's just so badass. The character all around is outstanding. They could have made like a spin-off franchise with just Elrond and what he did in his younger years in the armies, maybe with Isildur before he went crazy. Just seriously amazing acting all around. And I think that's another reason why this trilogy stands out till this day is not only is it well written and well filmed, the cinematography is insane, but the cast nailed all their roles. I don't think there's a single person you can go that he was not good for that role. And that's really nice to see. Um, yeah. Do you have anything to add to Return of the King?
Um, the ending boat scene when Frodo's getting on the boats at the Grey Havens
Mm-hmm.
to go to the land beyond. I wish Aragorn, Gimli, and
Oh,
Legolas were there, and Arwen, because like her dad's leaving. Like, see ya, I'll never see you again.
yeah. I remember when we first tried recording this episode, I kind of disagreed with you there, but given some time to think about it, I agree with you. It's like your dad's leaving to immortality. He's not coming back. So you would think at the very least Eowyn and Aragorn would be there for the Fellowship, and then his father-in-law, her dad, Gimli, Legolas. Who knows what they're up to? Well, they're over there too, aren't they? You said that
Yeah,
he made them captains of Gondor or
advisors.
advisors. Question for you, just maybe we'll see if you know based off their lore. But could they even be captains of Gondor since they're not gone? They are different species or races.
No, because Pippin
Uh
becomes a steward of Gondor.
okay. But that was before Aragorn. He just remains the steward.
Aragorn can do whatever.
Well, that's true. He did just help save Middle Earth with Frodo. So
any legal counsel that is on the seat the for Gondor is going to be dead because he's living to 200.
oh well, I mean, Legolas and Gimli would probably live pretty close to him.
Oh yeah, I think Gimli outlives him.
Yeah. Is there medium that takes place after Aragorn's passing, or like that talks about it in the books, or is it all in Return of the King's like epilogue maybe?
I can't remember. Tolkien did a lot of letters explaining some stuff.
Yeah, kind of like some extra backstory for some of the fans.
Yeah, uh, but I know Gimli by the time of the War of the Rings, he was like 140,
Oh, okay.
and in The Hobbit, I think he was like 60 to 80.
Oh, okay.
But I'm not sure what happens afterwards.
So we'll just keep it Lord of the Rings focus for now. Do you think that the Lord of the Rings TV show that Amazon's making, let's just say we know nothing about it besides the fact that they are making a TV show, do you think it'd be cool if it was based off the Silmarillion? I can't say it. I cannot
Mm-mm.
say that book, dude. But do you think it should be based off that? Because that book I'll never forget my old boss at Sprouts, hardcore Lord of the Rings fan, dude, and he like basically told me everything that happens in that book, and it's a lot of buildup, bro. Like a lot. So much amazing stuff happens in that book. You don't think they could turn that into a show?
I mean, they could. I wish they do like more uh, adventure type, like of like the wizards, Gandalf. I mean, it'd be hard getting Ian McKellen to play Gandalf again, but like some untold stories of Tolkien. But I don't know if it'll work. We'll
Yeah,
see.
of course. I mean, there's a lot to go with that, but that's kind of why I was asking. Well, Christopher Lee also passed, so he won't be there as a wizard. Um, I just don't see how they can make a TV show about it because it can't possibly be about the Lord of the Rings. Like it can't be, the Fellowship, and there's no way. I don't think that'd work in a TV show format at all.
Well, I also saw that they're going to be introducing sex scenes to the Lord of the Rings films, and I was like, why?
Hey man, Eowyn is kind of hot. So no, I don't know why they would do that. I mean, that's such a weird thing to come out with in your TV show instead of like what's actually going on, I guess. So,
Yeah,
uh,
especially since uh, JRR, not JRR, yeah, JRR
I
Tolkien.
was gonna say, wasn't it JRR?
I was thinking of like Christopher Tolkien, his son.
Uh,
We were talking about similar.
why is he the one who
Uh,
wrote Similarity? I can't say it.
yeah, I think J.R.R. Tolkien wrote a lot of it, but then Christopher like finished it.
Oh, okay, well that makes sense. I do know that one of his sons, or if that's his only son, I don't know his family history, did finish one of his books. I just didn't know which one it is.
Yeah, but anyways, it's kind of like spitting on J.R.R. Tolkien's grave because he was a Catholic
Oh,
and like he barely. I don't even think he really talked about sex in the books, to be
but you got to
honest.
remember when he wrote those books, it was the early 1900s.
Yeah, but you know,
The world's different today,
he,
dude. Okay.
I know, but keeping the author's vision a little bit, his values.
Hollywood don't give a fuck.
I know.
If Frodo's gonna have sex with a robot, they're gonna make it happen.
I'm just saying.
I'm just saying. Ah, man. It is Amazon. If you look at what they've done with the boys, if they can take that creative freedom or just kind of devotion, man, I know the boys isn't exactly carbon copy of its graphic novel, but from what I'm hearing, it's made a lot of fans extremely happy because it's actually as close as you're probably going to get. So whatever they base this show off of, if it can be decent enough to honor Tolkien and his stories, and I think that's fair. The sex scenes, I don't know why they're doing that. Just because Game of Thrones did it and it worked really well, like everyone was into that show for however long, doesn't mean your show has to have that to be important. Because whether you like it or not, a lot of people that talked about Game of Thrones talked about the sex scenes because it literally happens instantaneously, like within the first episode. I think
Yeah,
Jamie and Cersei.
Cersei. Yeah.
So it still did create conversation, which did lead to people watching the show. So maybe that's what their thought process is. I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, sure.
Sure. I don't know. So
I'm just saying it doesn't need it if it's good. You don't need sex scenes.
no, I agree, and that's what I'm trying to say is like I hope that's not like their thought process. Like we have to have it so it creates that buzz, in the atmosphere of the media for people to be talking about it on social media and whatnot. So, Fellowship of the Ring, The Two Towers, Return of the King. How are you going to rank them?
Number one is Fellowship. Number two, Return. Number three, Two Towers.
Yeah, so I'm almost there. I do Return, Fellowship, and then Two Towers. Like I said, I'm just a sucker for good conclusions, and I think Return of the King really closes the door on everyone's story with that cast. I literally have no questions. When I'm done with that film, I'm extremely satisfied. Like that's it. I can't tell you how many films where I'm like, Like Return of the Jedi, I'm like, oh shit, like what's Luke gonna do now? Like I want to know what Luke does. Lord of the Rings, like that's it. I'm extremely happy with everything that happens. Fellowship of the Ring. Fellowship of the Ring might be one of the best introduction films in the history of filmmaking. You know exactly everyone's story and whether or not you like them by the end of that first film. Pretty quick. They develop everybody at a very good rate, I would say. I don't think that's unfair to say, to be honest. And then Two Towers is the perfect. Let's get to the third film movie. Like, there's nothing bad about it. I love the wars in it. I love everything about it. It's just the Fellowship and Return of the King are, in my opinion, the pillars of how you start a trilogy and how you finish it in terms of filmmaking. I'm pretty sure the books are even better and probably different in some ways.
Yeah, I agree.
So, what else we got? Is there anything else you wanted to talk about today? I'd say with Lord of the Rings, though, we're pretty much done. I can just tell everyone now that we are going to be doing the Hobbit trilogy. We are not splitting it up. It will all be done in one episode. Probably.
And I'm reading the book.
Alex read the book or is reading the book. He's almost done. I need to finish watching the second one, or I need to rewatch the second one and then the third one because I just watched the first one like a couple months ago. So I might just go on Wikipedia for that just to freshen up on what happens.
Yeah.
I can already tell you right now, my favorite part from the first movie, I'm pretty sure it's the first movie, is the trolls or the ogres or whatever when they're getting cooked.
Mm-hmm.
I just think that's a really good scene. I think they did a really good job with it. And then when you told me when we were talking about Fellowship of the Ring, like, hey, there's their heads or something like that, or
So when Gandalf cracks the rock
uh-huh.
and reveals the sunlight, which is Troll's natural enemy,
Yeah,
they turn to stone. So when they're like going to, I think, Bree in the Fellowship,
yeah,
I think it's Mary or Pippins or Sam saying, "Mr. Frodo, look, it's the trolls Bilbo talked about."
yeah. I just think that's an awesome little connection there. So yeah, we'll be talking about those. Uh, Real quick, I'll talk to you about my Xbox Series S. Uh, for $300 and after tax here in California, it's 334. This console is extremely fucking impressive, dude. Like it's easily a on par in terms of performance on your game with at least a $600 or $700 PC for sure. Not even questionable. However, however, you're gonna laugh at me for this. The storage is abysmal. I think I have 5 games installed and my storage is completely full. Halo MCC, I literally had to uninstall almost every campaign to fit that 5th game. So yeah, that hurt. But I did give Jarrett, since last time we were playing Halo, he was actually having load issues with even customizing his Spartan on MCC with all the updates they've added to it. So I gave him my Xbox One X, and he should be setting that up today. He should be home hopefully by now. I just realized we haven't got a text from him. He left last night, but yeah. So next gen is dope, but when there's no next gen games to play, it's not that cool. That was going to be something I talked to you about real quick because normally with these new consoles, there's like one game that stands out. Like for instance, when the original Xbox One came out, that following spring, there was Titanfall, which was exclusive to 360, PC, and Xbox. But on 360, it had like a lot of issues. But on Xbox One, it didn't. It ran really well and it looked beautiful. That was the first, like, besides Rise, Son of Rome, the first like main game I played, and it completely like blew me out of the water. But with the Series S,
You got Apex.
I got Apex, which does run at 120 frames, which is dope. Halo MCC runs at 120 frames. Gears of War 5. Gears of War 5 is actually what's kind of, really taking me by surprise. Is the what? Why are you talking shit? You need to play it. That game is amazing, dude. It's literally the best Gears since Gears 3.
Oh, Sword Space for it.
Yeah, you don't play anything on your console besides Doom and Apex. And Cyberpunk isn't out yet.
Not getting it.
Oh, you're not gonna get it? No. What's
No, I've been playing MMO on my PC.
Oh yeah, the one that's in the preview program right now, right?
Yeah,
Well, they're yeah. What's it called?
Project Gorgon.
And you're saying this is a so Project Gorgon is a MMO being made from developers of EverQuest 2 and
Asheron's Call
Asheron's
1
Call.
and 2. I think Star Trek.
So people who've been in the business for quite a long time, because Asheron's Call didn't that end in early 2000s, or is that
Uh,
EverQuest?
it never ended. It ended in like I think 2015,
Oh, okay,
2016.
okay. I'm thinking of something else then.
EverQuest's still running. They came out with a expansion, I think, this year.
Okay.
But yeah, it's pretty fun. I like it.
So for the noobs listening that, like me, I played old school RuneScape, I played ESO and World of Warcraft a little bit. Is it like any of those MMOs for anybody who's interested in looking up what you're talking about? Or
I would say so on exploration and zones, it's like EverQuest and I'd say WoW. Questing, they don't really give you any hints or anything. It's not like new games where there's a little dot and a compass leading you. Yeah, pick up spider shit here and deliver it to this guy. It's like go to this cave, and you're like, okay, where the hell is that?
so it's like RuneScape because I felt when I was a kid, RuneScape was like that. They told you where it was, but dude, I mean, for the most part, from the quest that I remember, you were pretty much on your own. Like they say, hey, this is where it's at. But if you don't like know where you're going, or if it's still unfamiliar land, like it could be pretty nerve wracking trying to find the exact location of wherever the quest item is.
Yeah, yeah, I would say like combat. Uh, it's between EverQuest and ESO.
Mm-hmm.
I think there's 14 combat skills to go from. You can level them up to 70 or 80. I'm not that far yet.
Yeah.
But and then there's it's more community based. So like in World of Warcraft and RuneScape, you got the GE and the auction house, so you can just pick an item and sell it. Well, this one you can buy a trader,
Mm-hmm.
and you run that trader post. So you put all your stock in there, and then people come by and buy stuff if they need it.
Nice. Well, that's pretty dope. Yeah, I'd love to get back into MMOs. I mean, ESO has released a ton of Skyrim based DLC, which, whatever. I know everyone's gonna go back to Skyrim, but I mean that's cool, man. I'm glad you found a new MMO. Speaking of next gen, is there any game that would have to come out to be enticing enough for you to maybe dabble into the new consoles? Or are you pretty much really happy with the focus on crossplay, so you can stick to your PC and still be able to Xbox Live Party chat? You can still play Halo with us, Apex, Gears. If you ever wanted to try it, it's crossplay. Like, are you really happy with what they're doing with that, or would there be something like, oh, I'm gonna pick up a new console?
Maybe that's
Depends.
gonna hurt you. But
No. I mean,
the new
crossplay
God of
sounds.
War came out. I'd probably pick up a PS5
Yeah.
if it looked good. But I watched all the videos on the last one. I was like, I need to get a PS4.
Yeah, man. I watched like the entire like cutscene, the game movie of all the cutscenes. The last God of War they made was outstanding. I don't know how they're going to be able to like really top themselves with their next one. But yeah,
Well, they
man.
only showed like four gods in that.
Yeah,
So you got Thor's children, I think it was.
because he killed Thor, didn't he? Or
No, he killed Baldur,
and that's their brother.
Thor's brother, but they also killed Thor's sons.
And everyone thinks Loki is Kratos' son,
Yeah, Atreus.
which is weird, right? Like, how does that make any sense?
Kratos hooked up with uh, the god of giants, basically. And then
Um,
she passed on. So, plus there's a mural on the wall, and it shows like Kratos getting absorbed of all his power or something like that, or sacrificed, and Loki coming out.
mm, okay.
So, it's pretty interesting. Like that giant snake you've seen in it, that's Loki's son.
Yeah, so it's like
Sent back in time.
so Loki's son was sent back in time, and it's a fucking snake.
Yeah, Thor punched him so hard he went back in time in the time of Ragnarok, I believe.
Oh, well, that's what you were saying, or someone else was saying that they might like showcase Ragnarok and the next
Yeah,
one.
well, that's what it's called, I believe.
Oh, I didn't know
Yeah,
that. Oh, yeah, I think there was a reveal trailer for that, right? Or it just says
yeah, it was.
Ragnarok.
Yeah, I think it was just like the main theme of God of War 4, and then it shows Ragnarok.
It's very tough for me to talk about Norse mythology without thinking about Marvel's take on it with their character Thor. But it's like vastly different, right? Like their actual Norse like stories compared
Mhm.
to what Marvel depicts, which
Yeah,
isn't a
plus,
bad thing. I'm just saying they're different.
well, they did them pretty good because God of War and Greek mythology, people were thinking he was going to go to Norse or Egyptian next, and they're all intertwined, so it's pretty cool.
So I guess at this point, why is Kratos doing this? Like, why is he
Uh,
still
he,
like hell bent
no,
on
he
killing
wanted
all the gods or what?
no, he wanted to get away from that. That's why he put away his blades.
And that's why he went to third person.
Yeah.
Hey man, I'm not knocking them. Their third person camera view looks way better than the original games. Because I played God of War 1 and 2. I haven't been back ever since. But those games were fucking amazing back in the day. They probably are still good. I know they came out with like a semi remastered collection for the PS4 or
Mhm.
PS3. I know they came out with one, but seeing them do like the over the shoulder type stuff with this latest one is insane. Like if there's a reason to buy a PlayStation, it's that game for sure. Like they got a console seller there.
That and Spider-Man.
I guess I watched a ton of gameplay of it. Like I watched the cutscenes. Like I'm not that impressed unless you like open world, unless you like swinging around buildings for hours on end. But I was watching just like some raw gameplay footage from like a random person on YouTube, and I don't think I could sit there and play it. Because even the Batman games were technically good, but I couldn't. I couldn't play them. The Arkham games.
Yeah, I
It's
just why Spider-Man?
uh, I
I
know,
like
right?
Deadpool. Overused.
Him and Deadpool are overused. Well, who would you want instead? Like if there was a Marvel hero right now, like Alex, we will make a fucking game for this hero. Who would it be?
Hulk.
No, no,
Okay, you wouldn't want to run around
nope,
freaking smashing shit.
nope. I already did that on the Avengers game, and I didn't like it.
Mm.
And their combat, even though that game is god awful, the combat for the heroes is extremely well done. So no, I would say that if someone wants that, go buy that game when it's like $15 and play as the Hulk because you will get your smash the shit out of everything. His abilities are insane too.
Okay, what superhero would you do?
Captain America,
Oh, I see you want to just run around and smack stuff.
dude. Listen, once again, we'll bring up the Marvel's Avengers like looter shooter game that they just came out with and is failing horribly. It's just, dude, the way they animated his moves and stuff with the shield are it's fucking dope. I would rather just have a full on story driven game than a looter shooter Avengers game. You have Spider Man, have Hulk. Imagine Marvel Ultimate Alliance. Did you play those games by any chance? Oh well, basically, if you have a favorite hero, you can fucking play as them in that game, right? Imagine having all these heroes in a massive campaign, but with a gameplay style of God of War, where it's over the shoulder. Well, Marvel's Avengers did that too. It's all in third person. Imagine that, but a complete campaign, maybe co-op driven story. I'd rather have that than just Spider-Man, just Thor. Um, I think that would be better than.
Maybe just no more superhero games. It's just the same thing all over.
Yeah, that's why I recommend Marvel's Ultimate Alliance 3 on the Switch. That game is fun, dude, and it's got a great campaign. It's about the Black Order. Thanos' um,
Hmm.
children, the children of Thanos. That's a really, really good game. I didn't finish it because it took it took way too long. But I just recommend that game. It seems like they can't get it right with superhero games. I know Spider-Man's like outstanding, and it really is, but it's just not for me. I'm not gonna buy a console for it. There's no way. I think if anything, Injustice is probably where it's at. Just
Yeah,
for,
like fighting games.
yeah, if NetherRealm took over for Marvel's fighting games like that, holy shit. Yeah, sign me up because the Injustice games are good. Those are really good games. Yeah. So, is there anything else you would like to talk about, good sir? I don't think I have anything else to add at this moment. I'm sure something will come up when right as we're done recording, and I'll get pissed. So,
You
you're,
already did the polls too, right?
those. Well, if you would like to redo them, but I did it by myself.
Mm. No, we're good.
Yeah, I think we're good. Originally, everybody when we recorded Return of the King, me and Alex went over all the polls, and it was funny as shit. But yeah, I think that's it. So yeah, the Lord of the Rings trilogy. If for whatever reason you haven't seen it yet, just stop everything you're doing and watch it. And Alex, thank you for being on the show.
For having me on.
No
I
problem,
got a
man.
needy cat.
Yeah, he's got a needy cat, everyone. So that's going to be it for the It Just Works podcast. Thank you guys so much for tuning in today. I will be giving my full review of the Xbox Series S on the next episode. So please stay tuned for that. And yeah, we'll talk to you guys real soon. Bye.